The NBA is trying to save itself. From who? Well, itself. The NBA's biggest and best players just don't play enough anymore. Players like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, super elite players only played in about 78% of their team's games, which is not good. So in this video, we're going to dissect why that is. Injuries, greed. Well, first let's jump into injuries. Injuries happen. Achilles, ACL, broken fingers, noses, whatever it is. It's a professional sport. Injuries are going to happen. And obviously these players don't want to get hurt and they don't want to sit out as long and then as often as they do, so why do they? According to the former Milwaukee Bucks director of basketball research, Seth Partnow, two key factors in deciding rest are data and relationships. He said the push for rest overwhelmingly comes from the medical staff and front office, making a case for the risk versus reward scale. In the last 5 years, there's been a significant increase in unique injuries and missed games, a ton of which coming from re-injured players. You have players like Klay Thompson and Anthony Davis re-injuring the same ankle or back, and you can't have top 75 players missing this many games. But you kind of have to if you want to think long-term for the player and the team. So this is where load management comes into play. Load management is when a healthy, or at least seemingly healthy player is held out of playing a game for said precaution. It's an 82-game season, and coaches feel just the way that the game is judged today, their legacy, their contract is going to be based on their success in the playoffs. So why have Klay Thompson play a full 82-game season when the team is really good and can probably make the playoffs without him, and then you have him fresh for a finals run? Load management is very common now, but it's not brand new. Though players like Jordan, Bird, and Kobe all played in over 90% of their team's games each season, load management started about a decade ago. In 2012, the San Antonio Spurs were fined $250,000 for sending home 4 of their stars like Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Danny Green at the time. Yeah, they sent them home packing on a Southwest flight when they were about to play the LeBron James Miami Heat on a nationally televised game. It was early in the season, but Popovich didn't notify the Heat, the media, the league, nobody beforehand, so David Stern at the time felt that he did a disservice to the league and its fans. And that's the place that the now NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver wants to stand on. Fans come to games specifically to see their favorite players like LeBron and Steph Curry, but if they're not playing that night and having load management, they may not come back to games and continue spending money, and they may have lost a fan for life for the NBA. For example, in a 2023 game against the Boston Celtics, Heat star Jimmy Butler was a late healthy scratch. A young fan flew over 4,000 miles to see his favorite player play and was denied that chance because of load management. Now, the Heat did kind of make it up to him because they sent him a signed jersey in basketball, but that's not the case for the majority of fans. So, the NBA is trying to put an end to teams resting their healthy players. In perfect timing with negotiation on a new national media rights deal, the NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver are determined to get fans watching on TV, gluing them back into their seats both at home and in the arenas. They know and believe that these fans deserve to see their home team starting 5 night in and night out, no matter what time of season it is. They do have about 50 to 75 billion on the line when it comes to their new media rights deal. One of the solutions from the NBA Board of Governors is to adopt some new rules that give a little bit more authority to the league when it comes to disciplining teams for actually violating these resting rules compared to the past. The league first implemented the resting rule in the 2017-2018 season, which prohibited star players from resting for nationally televised and media-driven games. If a team violated that, at first they were fined at least $100,000. Obviously, teams don't care about that little of money for them, so here are the new rules to change that. No more than 1 star player is unavailable for the same game. What is a star player? Obviously we get it, but I just feel like it's weird to put into an agreement or into some rules. But obviously an example is Steph Curry and Klay Thompson can't both be out for the same game. Unless, of course, they're both injured, genuinely, so we'll see. Second is that teams must ensure that their star players are available for national TV games and also the in-season tournament games. Third is teams must maintain the number of one-game absences between home and road games for their star players, with a preference for them missing home games, obviously because players play at home more than on the road. Maybe the only time that season that person may be able to see LeBron in Detroit. Fourth, and this is a huge one, especially recently, teams must refrain from any long-term shutdown of star players or near shutdowns, which is honestly even worse because it affects the integrity of the game to them. Lastly, something that's not new but will be way stricter enforced is the fact that if you're resting, you have to be visible to the fans. So you have to be on your team's bench if you're a healthy scratch for that game. I know that was a mouthful, and a lot of it sounds almost impossible to enforce, much like the 2017 PRP. But if they do successfully enforce it, here's how the violations go. Any team that violates any of the rules is subject to a fine of $100,000 for a first offense, $250K for the second, and $1.25 million for a third. And then it increases by $1 million after that. And are there any exceptions to this? Can teams try to avoid it? Well, of course, as always, and some people are calling it the LeBron clause. Sources said the NBA will allow a pre-approved designated back-to-back allowances for players who are 35 on opening night or have 34,000 minutes in regular season gameplay, or of 1,000 games combined between the regular season and playoffs. Really, all it says is that if a team feels that they need to rest one of their older players on a back-to-back night, they need to send in written pre-approval to the NBA, and the NBA will probably approve it, especially if it's a certain someone. A stipulation on that is that they have to send it in at least a week before the game, so I'm sure the Lakers, the Warriors, Suns, I mean, any player with LeBron, Chris Paul, I mean, there's a decent amount in the league with that fit the bill. Overall, these rules impact 25 of 30 teams and around 50 players, which is pretty significant. Here's all that means. Money. The NBA is a star-driven league. They are in desperate need of their star players being on the court. Not only are they receiving $2.5 billion on their media rights deal throughout the 24-25 season, but ticket prices have become astronomical. It's really becoming a luxury that only wealthy families can afford. The average cost for a family of four to go to an NBA game in 2021 was $444.12. And you can double that for my team, the New York Knicks, in the most expensive market. Right now, it feels like the NBA is being paid for a product that they haven't and aren't delivering. And obviously people have been noticing. Fans, networks, sports books, it's obvious. It's been a significant discussion now for many years. But I'm not sure that this is a solution. I just hope healthy players play and fans get their money's worth. But you tell me your thoughts. What would you do and what do you think on these new rules? As always, leave a comment down below. I love discussing. I appreciate each and every single one of you that view the video and stay till the end. If you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more just like this. Ring the notification bell to be notified every single time that I post. So excited to continue this journey. Absolutely loving it. Heading into the end of 2023. Sports have been absolutely crazy, so let me know what else you want to see from me, and hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.